This is a Dharma word from Master Changsan. The Master said, practitioners have three types of teachers. A human teacher who teaches us through his or speech, writing, and conduct. The universe as teacher, which awakens us to the worldless reality already before our eyes, and our consciousness as teachers, which rouse our own selves. One who aspires to attain the great way should receive guidance well from all three of these teachers. Evening. Master Changsan said, practitioners have three types of teachers. Three types of teachers. From these Dharma words, I will define what it means to be a practitioner. Practitioners mean those who aspire to attain the great way. Aspire to attain great way. To become existentially great human being. Then, how can we become existentially great human being? The here answer is by having three types of teachers. By learning from these three types of teachers, we can attain the great way and we can become the great human beings. Ordinary human beings, in general, learn from peer human beings, right? Who do you learn from mostly? By observing people. When we listen to the words somebody speak, and we decide to listen to it or just neglect it. If the words somebody speak help you open your eyes, open your heart, open your mind, then naturally you listen to it. Because you know that words help you grow, help you become better human being. Right? Also, when you read books, why do you read books? For learning. To get wisdom. Then why do we need learning and wisdom? To live better life, to become better human being. So, ordinary people continue to listen to the words, continue to read the words, and continue to observe human conduct. Simply, we want to become better human beings. But still, many people don't listen to. They don't read. They don't observe great human conduct. Simply, they are not that much serious about becoming better human beings. They're just satisfied with themselves as they are. They don't have strong motivation for their personal growth. But here, practitioners who aspire to attain the great way of being. They take seriously to listen to the words and read the books, and especially wisdom books, and closely observe other people's conduct. And they learn from it. This is the way average, ordinary human beings learn from. Second teacher is universe. Universe. How much and how many things have you learned from the universe? If you learn, then how? Universe doesn't speak. Universe doesn't write books. Universe doesn't show its conduct like we humans do. Then how can we listen? How can we read? How can we observe how universe works? I heard that the great spiritual geniuses, they take universe as their primary teacher. Primary teachers, universe and nature. They spend most of their time in nature. And they come back as enlightened beings. Then what is the mechanism of ordinary human beings becoming sentient, the saints and sages, by simply being in the nature and by simply observing the workings of the universe? They look at the clouds, they look at the sky, the flowing of the water and soil and trees, the changes of the seasons, the movement of the wind. And they bring some meaning from those workings. Isn't it fun? Isn't it interesting? By observing the nature, they collect some meanings and some understanding. Isn't it miraculous for we human beings can figure out the meaning? We human beings have most complicated nervous system. Nervous system does processing, information processing work. Right? It's so complicated, connected to form meaning. And to understand it and apply it, to experiment it. And spiritual geniuses have a very keen nervous system, very developed nervous system to make it work. And very keen art of observing external world. And third is our conscience as teachers. If you have any one of the human teachers, then you are lucky. You are blessed enough. Because at least you have a guide. You have a leader to follow. It's easy to go, right? If you have a guide, it's easy to take a spiritual journey. And you are lucky. If you don't have, still okay. Don't be frustrated. Because whether we are wise or whether we are stupid, anyway, we humans are born with conscience. When you try to do something which is against the human way, right things to do, then how would you feel inside? How do you feel? When you are about to do something wrong,
something not kind, something unwholesome, then how do you feel? Within. Uncomfortable, some tension, negative emotions, low confidence, and low self-esteem. Those are the signals from our biological cells, which we call it conscience. So we have our own inner teacher. We have our own inner mentor to be able to guide us. You have it, I have it, everybody has it. Children have it. Patients have it. Everybody is born with it. So our own conscience is our own spiritual guide. So we can start our spiritual journey by having and by observing our conscience, and then following right teachers, and then take universe as our teacher. Then we make sure all the teachers we can have. You know, many people consider leaders who can make better production and better result in their organization, in what they do. But the greatest leaders, they have the power to make other people wanting to follow. Naturally wanting to follow. Not because of the position, not because of the authority. Just simply, people want to follow somebody. Why? We have our own innate wisdom. What is wholesome? What is unwholesome? When we continue to transform and change ourselves, we become better learner and better teacher, influence others, and we can lead others by leading ourselves first. So today, please make sure you are practitioners. Practitioners means you started your journey wanting to attain to the greatest way of being. If you are serious enough and sincere enough, then we need to check whether we have our conscience as our teacher, and whether we have human teachers who can guide you. And then simply take you to the nature and then see what you learn, what you see, what type of big change you make by being in the nature. Then you will see whether you are growing or not. So test yourself and ask your teachers whether you are growing or not. And check with your conscience whether you closely listen to the voice, your inner voice, or not. Then you will see soon where you will be.